David, dude, thanks so much for coming today. I'm super pumped. We're gonna get into some good stuff. I can feel it. David, for those of you who don't know, he got me into real estate. He told me that I needed to get my license, and then I also had another guy named Chris that helped, ease me into the real estate game. But you are the one who really like told me point blank, like, dude, you got to get your license.
On my
You got
downstairs couch with a bottle or with a glass of bourbon.
See, he already he can remember for sure. I don't even remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, David, tell me a little bit about, and everybody else, who you are. What is it? What I mean, obviously you do real estate, but what got you into real estate?
Oh man, getting into real estate was actually kind of a wild ride, anyways. So I had literally just watched something that I worked for years and thought would be the entire call of my life fall apart. And whenever that fell apart, I had to move back to this country, to the U.S. I was so committed to that. I sold all my guns before I went to Australia. And I'm originally from Texas. And if you know anything about Texans, we are not selling our guns. But no, I thought I was going there for good. So I went ahead and made that commitment.
Mm.
It didn't take 7 months with bad leadership and uh, conflict of interest and everything like that for me to find myself right back here in the great United States of America. I went back to my hometown. I didn't want to be there. I got offered jobs as soon as I got back, everything like that, but I could see my entire future down the road, and I wanted nothing to do with that future.
Mm.
Nothing against the oil field, love all the people that I came from, but at the exact same time, I just knew that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I came back here. I lived on a friend's couch for 3 months. Shout out Tyrell, great guy, still a good friend. Um, but he was working at Empire Title at that time, and he started to get into investing, and he had ads on Craigslist. And while because he was gone all day working at Empire, he could not make those calls. And so because I was living on his couch and had nothing else to do, he's like, "Will you call these people for me?" And that's where I started. I started cold calling Craigslist ads to do
That's
it.
awesome.
I mean, and I could remember the first lady that responded, and I actually like set an appointment with and everything like that. And me and Tyrell went over there to talk to her, and neither one of us could find our butt with both hands. But for whatever reason, that lady uh, uh, let us work the deal. I would say we treated her right, which I think is like the number one thing that uh, you have to know when you're getting into investment is that you have to leave enough meat on the bone so
Mm-hmm.
that everything goes through smooth and everybody walks away happy. It's also probably the best advice you'll ever get to not get sued, which that's a life goal is to not get sued. Uh, but yeah, I started from there. We picked up a couple more partners. We started more investment. We kept on working through. We started our own brokerage. We started our own property
Mm.
management company. Um, in 2019, I just felt like it was time to exit that. So I did. Um, had my own brokerage just because I needed somewhere to hang my license for a few months. And I did not like any of the major box brokerages because I didn't see any value that they would offer to me at the time. I was also a realtor at that time for 3 years already.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really see that, especially for the amount of money they wanted to collect from me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just didn't really see the point. So I started my own brokerage, and then I was introduced to Call It Closed. I was referred to him by a friend of ours. Do you remember Danny? Um, oh man, Danny, I'm so sorry. I just forgot your last name. Uh,
Danny.
I want to say Trejo, and I know I don't even know Danny Trejo, so I can't say that. We're gonna have to edit this whole part because Danny can't know that I can't remember his last name right now.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, no, but
Danny.
yeah, Danny Cruz. Sorry,
Oh, Danny
yeah,
Cruz.
dear God,
Yes.
I could not.
I do know Danny
Yes.
Cruz.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
So Danny was gonna look at taking over the managing broker for Call It Close for Colorado,
Okay.
and then him and Emily moved to Texas,
Texas. Yeah.
and so he pretty much made the introduction. Danny's actually an agent with Call It Closed in Texas now. He's
That's
yeah, he's
crazy.
in my downline, so I
That's
guess
awesome.
yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, and pretty much like every step of the way, I always knew, even before I got into real estate, that like I was going to be in a service industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I was in Australia, I was trying to open up a college because I wanted to serve people. Like, help them better know who they are and who God is and all those kind of things. And that's why I did that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get paid to be in Australia. I didn't get any of those kind of things.
Yeah.
But like the whole purpose was so that people would be served and people would get to do that. And honestly, I think real estate's probably the best industry that you get to serve people in,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not just trying to sell somebody, a
Mm-hmm.
widget or whatever it is, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing that I help people purchase is something that is going to shelter them. It's where they get to create a family in. It's probably going to be the largest unit of mobility for income.
Yeah.
It's probably where most of their equity for their entire life is going to come from.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they're going to use to scale their life in the years to come.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different things that real estate does. I'm about to say it can set you free financially on the investment side. I'm about to say it can just create a safe place where you can raise a great family,
Mm-hmm.
and or build a great family or bring a great family into. Uh, you can provide shelter for other people, like whenever you own your rentals, anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like real estate does so many amazing things. Um, it's the only industry that I know of where the thing you help them buy is also the thing you get to go meet them in.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's dope.
maybe car salesman gets to do that, but
Yeah, the car.
yeah,
But
I was about to say
that's a depreciating asset.
that's exactly what I was about to say. But that thing depreciates. So I was about to say as soon as you leave the lot. So like
So let me ask you a question. So you've been in real estate for a while. How many years?
9 years now,
9 years,
full
dude.
time.
That is, dude.
Yeah.
You're coming up on a decade in real
I
estate.
am. I was about to say, pretty soon
Congratulations.
I'll be one of those old realtors. It's like, I'll tell all the other realtors, you know how long I've been doing this? God, I hope not.
So I would ask the question. I mean, there's a lot of agents out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of managing brokers
Mm-hmm.
out there. What would set
5,000 in the state of
See,
Colorado.
you already got the number.
I was about to say, I looked it up
That's
yesterday
crazy.
for doing cold calls.
So so what sets you apart and your brand apart from anybody else?
Hmm. So, starting with me personally, I would probably say the thing that sets me apart is that I'm still a full producing realtor.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the income that I make, I'm not making that income because I hired a realtor to try to go make an income.
Right.
So like the revenue share that I get, while it will be very substantial one day, uh, it's still not the driving force of why I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not all employing brokers. Some employing brokers are simply there to own the franchise and get other people to go ahead and do the work. I know pure recruiters in other companies that all they do is recruit other agents,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't do real estate.
Right.
They just want to bring you in so that you're in their downline, and that's what they're doing. Um, so personally, like I'm still doing real estate. I still have up months. I still have down months. I still have challenges. I still cold call. I still have to have those everyday conversations
Mm-hmm.
with past clients and new clients. I have to deal with you know, the lender that forgot something and now whatever. All my lenders are great, by the way. So if I refer them, they do a fantastic job. Uh, but also the exact same time, I've dealt with people in every single part of the industry that you know I know that I've dropped the ball on certain things, but you
Mm-hmm.
just keep moving forward. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Like, um, I am constantly in the same field doing the same job that every other realtor is.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our different niches, but whenever it comes to it, I'm doing the same work.
Yeah.
What is very, very different about our brokerage is that we are the only brokerage in the United States that offers you 100% commission and gives you a rev share. So those are the two big things that really like just pop out immediately. But not only that, but Call It Close is actually built out so that you get to operate as your own independent realtor, like if you were an employing broker without having to be an employing broker. So my largest thing, or I'm about to say, the only thing that we really require inside of Call It Close is that you follow compliance for your state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like how you want to brand yourself, how you want to communicate yourself to the public, everything like that, as long as it's inside the ethical guidelines, as long as it's inside your compliance guidelines, which is also why I'm here. I'm going to make sure that you're inside of your compliance
Mm-hmm.
guidelines. Um, that's all that we really require of you.
Yeah.
It's really so that you have your own business and a business, which is why most people become realtors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not there because they want someone to call them every single day and be like, hey, did you call these 7 agents because they texted back the CRM and now you have to, like, if you don't call them back in the next 10 minutes, you bet you'll be in trouble with the brokerage or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like
They want
I
to be their own boss.
exactly
Yeah.
like I about to say, and don't get me wrong, like there's a reason why those brokerages do that. It's because they have money in the game. They got
Right.
skin in the game. Like,
Right.
I'm not dogging that, but like, I didn't get in this business so that someone could, call me at 7 a.m. and be like, "Hey, you got 15 phone calls you need to make in the next
Go
hour."
go sit at this open house for
Yeah,
4 hours with nobody walking in it.
yeah, exactly right. Like I don't like if it doesn't make sense to me in my own business, I want to run my business.
Yeah.
I'll say I don't want to be a cog in someone else's wheel.
Yeah.
Like I want to own the whole assembly.
Yeah.
Um,
And so
and
you give that to your
every single one.
agents.
I about to say, and that's just right off the bat. The other side of that is um, we're brand new. Okay, so right now we're in 21 states. So like whenever EXP launched their IP
Mm-hmm.
or their IPO, uh, they started in this is a rough number. They started right around. They launched with about 500 agents.
Mm-hmm.
We're launching ours at the end of this year, and we should be launching with closer or to 1,000 to over. Okay, and every agent that is joining right now gets a free 1,000 shares of pre-IPO stock whenever they come onto it. So um, immediately you're already getting something. You're getting something for free whenever you join.
Yeah.
You're getting to keep all of your money inside of that. We give out the largest tech stack of any brokerage that's out there. I'd say you get 2 different CRMs. You get Lofty, which is probably the highest performing plug and play CRM, and then you get Go High Level, which is the most robust CRM,
Mm-hmm.
and you have everything that Go High Level offers. There's not a single thing in there that you have to unlock or pay an extra deal for unless it's a program outside of Go High Level.
So this is totally side tangent, but let's talk
Yep.
a little bit about this because
Mm-hmm.
AI is such a crucial part in real estate now, and it's
Yep.
starting to make a huge wave in real estate. So with Go High Level, you've got like AI automations,
Mm-hmm.
right? So follow-ups for messaging. You've got AI bots that are calling
Yep.
people,
Cold
that
call
are
bots.
texting people, right? Like that are having legit conversations like you and
Yeah.
I are having. It's
It
freaking scary, bro.
can mimic your voice. I was about to say, and has every single call sheet and objection handling thing that is already built out and done. Doesn't have to remember it because it's just, well, I guess it does remember it, but like it's just a database of it. So it's like you on the best salesman that you could ever be without ever having to do sales again.
Mm-hmm.
So, which the one thing that I really love about AI, and people like worry about it and everything like that,
Yeah.
but one thing that AI is not going to be able to do is ever give you a human touch.
Mm.
Okay, so AI will be fantastic because it's going to do the work of the service, or I'm sorry, of the initiation of the sale, I'll say it that
Mm-hmm.
way, to communicate it, and then plug you in as the human to do the service.
Mm-hmm.
So like whenever you're dealing with AI or anything like that, like people are like, oh, it'll take my job, it'll do anything like that. It's like, no, what it's going to do is it's going to boost your job. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to supplement all the things that you don't like to do. Because number one, like making cold calls,
Mm-hmm.
probably 10% of agents actually consistently make cold calls.
Right.
Because everybody hates it. They have the fear of the phone. Like I have the fear of the phone. Some mornings I wake up and I'm like, God, I don't want to go make phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
And but you still have to do it.
Yeah.
But if you don't have to do that anymore, and all you get to do is the service part of the industry, which is why 90% of realtors get into the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, how easy is that? But sorry, so yeah, so Go High Level, completely huge. We have an entire marketing company where we purchase the suite from, but they're also onboarded with Call It Close. They'll help you set it up. They'll walk you through everything. Um, out on top of that, we do coaching 5 days a week virtually through Zoom, but they are live Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
So we have business coaches, we have real estate coaches, and we have life coaches.
Mm.
So no matter what aspect of your life you're trying to grow in, we inside of Call It Closed already provide you someone to talk to and to teach you how to get to best accomplish those things inside of your
Yeah.
life.
That's beautiful. So with the, I mean, with the, I mean, you touched on it. You're an agent. You're an operating agent. You're also a managing broker of Call It Closed, Colorado Springs, and actually Denver too, right? Like,
The entire
yeah,
state.
the entire state of Colorado. So what would you say? Like, let's shift gears a little bit. Like, people that are looking to buy or sell their home,
Mm-hmm.
like, what's that connection process look like with you? What how can people expect what can they expect out of their connection with you
You mean like
opposed to another agent?
so? Talking about transaction, I'll say
Yeah.
it that way, okay?
Yeah.
Because like the initial connection, what you can expect is for me to call you until you answer the phone. So call, text, and email. But once we actually make that connection, what you can expect is a no pressure,
Mhm.
uh, no sales, all service kind of an approach.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't say that I'm a salesman. I say that I'm a serviceman.
Mhm.
Okay, because I'm going to provide you with a set of services, and I'm going to make sure that they're fitted to you. I'm going to make sure that they're followed up on, and I'm going to guarantee them all.
Mhm.
So whether it means that I'm calling you every single Monday for my sellers to make sure that you're caught up on everything that happened on your listing for the last week, that's a full service thing. To make sure that I'm talking to our buyers about the best time to lock in their rates, because I'm talking again with great mortgage brokers and everything like that,
Mhm.
about the different areas of town where they want to be, where they don't want, well, not where they don't want to be, but where they would prefer to be.
Mhm.
Um, all of that is just 100% service up front.
Mhm.
I always promise that I'll be honest with all of my clients. Like if you're only approved to 450, we shouldn't go see a $500,000 house,
Right.
because all that's going to do is kill your expectations for all the houses that you have a possibility of actually buying and living in.
Yeah.
It just taints it,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so the better conversation is, how do we buy the best house for you that works right now, and how do we turn this house into that next house, 3 to 5 years down the
Build
line?
your castle.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
No, because that's what real estate is. It's a moving um, asset. Like it's an appreciating asset. It's something that it's probably one of the only things that you can use on a daily basis, but always gains in value.
Yeah.
Uh, and I know people like make the argument, oh, well, the crash and all of those kind of things. Um, we're way, way above where
Oh
2008
yeah.
was at the end of the crash of 2000.
Well, in Colorado Springs in general, because of our
Mhm.
5 military installations, we're not going to eat it as much as everybody else is going to eat it.
Did you know that 49% of all of Colorado Springs are rentals?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Just because of all of how big of our military are and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that. A lot of military come here and buy homes, and then they keep that home to be a rental to other military or whoever else is going to move into it whenever they get PCS somewhere else, or are stationed or whatever. But they love Colorado Springs, and so they come back here and they retire all the time.
Yeah.
I would say we have more top ranking officials from the military, especially the Air Force, um, that come back here to retire than any other city in the United
That's
States.
crazy.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
So when I talk about smooth and efficient,
Mhm.
like I'm a little biased because I've got to see you in action do this, right? But what does that look like for listing my home? What does that look like for me as a first time home buyer? And not knowing anything about the home buying process, or maybe I am military and I'm coming in and I don't even know the first step in using my VA.
Mhm.
Like, what does smooth and efficient look like through those processes?
Well, and the question that I hear you asking is like, what system is it that you're actually going to get plugged in with? Every one of them is going to start with a meeting.
Mm.
So like, no matter if you're a buyer or seller, you're going to start off with a meeting. So we're going to have a conversation to actually figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Um, because without a goal, without an understanding, then it's almost impossible to give you like a clear cut direction to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, dealing on the seller side, we're going to have that conversation because I need to know, how quickly do you want to be on the market? Do you have to be on the market quickly? I'll say, can we wait till the prime times of Colorado to list, which is right now, by the way. I'd say if you want to list your house now, uh, uh,
Call him.
call
Call him.
me, call me. Uh, but no, I mean, we're going to sit down. We're going to go through the marketing plan. We're going to go over all the different ways that we're going to touch as many people as possible to get your property in front of as many eyes as possible.
Mm.
Um, I partner with lenders to get us a really cheap drive-by appraisal, so that I'm not the only one shooting you a price. So that we actually I don't. While I am very confident in all of my services, um, you still have to deal with an appraiser.
Yeah.
Okay. And every single transaction, buyer or seller. So I love to do, I pay for it. I pay for that drive by appraisal after the
Mm.
pictures are taken so that I can get a secondary opinion to make sure that I'm not just, high as a kite.
Yeah.
But we're going to do that. We're going to market your property. We're going to pay for those ads. We're going to stage that house. We're going to do that professional photography and videography. We're going to do all those. But just inside of that very first meeting, we're going to talk about what actually your timeline looks like. You know, um, I made a post yesterday talking about all the people that I helped in all the weird situations. I mean, I've helped divorcees, I've helped bankruptcies, I've helped short sales. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is plug them straight into an investor that closes in 10 days.
Mm.
It's not always the best price that they're going to get for their property, but in a certain situation, that's the best situation.
Yeah.
They still get to save their foreclosure, which means that they'll be able to buy a house
Yeah.
before 7 years.
They get to keep their credit.
Yeah, I'm about to say they get to keep their credit. In
Yeah.
fact, it usually improves their credit because
The
all
sale of
their
a property.
I'm about to say, I'm
Yeah.
about to say they offload debt and it catches them up on all their payments.
Right.
Um, but all of those things, I mean, like divorcing, I felt people that are divorcing each other be like, all right, well, dealing with the lawyer and the courts and all that stuff and actually figuring out a timeline with deals with that, which I don't know if you've ever dealt with, well, the courts and everything like that, but like they always have their own
Oh
timeline.
yeah.
Being
Oh
able
yeah.
to explain that to the other side of the transaction
Mm.
so that you don't get under contract and then have a fight every single time you're having a conversation
Right.
because the court hasn't released something or something along those lines.
Right.
Just just the knowledge to be able to explain that to the other side of the conversation.
Mm.
And not only that, but also you know, usually divorced people don't want to be close to each other anymore.
So what I'm hearing
So
is like you're like a master at managing expectations. When it comes to the deal, when it comes to the both sides of the deal, like how much would you say that plays a part in your job?
it plays a major part in every single realtor, especially my job. So like everyone tries to come up with like their niche.
Mm-hmm.
My niche is people. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So I don't, I'm not the 809 whatever realtor or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't have a farm area or anything. 98% of my business comes from referrals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I might get referred from someone on this side of town to someone on this side of town. So uh, all of that is just a service mindset. So like I'm coming in with the techniques and I mean, we live in it's 2025.
Mm-hmm.
You can find out any information
Yeah.
that you want in 30 minutes or less about an entire neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
about every store, every park, every hiking trail, everything that you want to know about that area. And that's all you need for marketing. Uh, the other side of that is really just knowing their expectations and what it is inside of their needs. So the common saying is commission breath. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I don't have that. Like
Mm-hmm.
like the sale of the property is going to happen no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
whether you work with me or not, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also the exact same time, like I'm not there breathing down your neck, like we got to do this now. We got to all of a sudden blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. Because the house has to move. We need to get this on the market and
Right.
everything. Which like there can be some wisdom in that,
Right.
but at the end of the day, like if you can't sell your house till November. Or if your house has to be sold in November, not the best time to sell your house.
Yeah.
Great time to buy a house. Less competition.
Right.
As long as you don't mind moving in the snow. Uh, but the everything inside of that, like it's all client facing. Like it's not a it's a job, but the job, like if you called me today and you asked me everything to do with your house, I'd probably tell you everything I would do with your house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you the information for free, mostly because I know most people won't act on it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they, I can tell them everything that I want to tell them, but that doesn't mean that they'll
Implement. Yeah.
implement it or even understand it, which is, you know, why realtors are realtors. Like, this is what we do 24/7. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, just like I'm not going to go to an auto mechanic and be like, you're installing that wrong. I don't work on cars every single day. I would say I can, do an alternator or, any kind of a plug-in thing, but like I'm not going to retime an engine or, uh, rebuild a transmission or anything along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not my expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has an expertise. I
Mm-hmm.
would say, and that's why we're here. Um, my expertise is just being able to understand what it is that you actually want,
Mm-hmm.
and giving you the space to accomplish it while giving you good advice all along the way.
Yeah.
So, and being honest about it all the way. Like, okay, fine. You don't want to, you want to list your house for this. I don't think it'll sell for that. Um, if I'm going to take this listing with you, we're going to have a very aggressive price reduction plan.
Yeah.
All right. Do you agree with the price reduction plan? No. Well, I don't think we should work together.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not going to waste my time, especially trying to serve someone that doesn't want to be served.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense, and it makes everybody's life harder.
So let's talk about serving. Let's talk about some other people that you might serve.
Mm-hmm.
Investors.
I love investors. Started off on that side. Uh, Probably the only reason why I don't fully pursue investing is because I love how to help people.
Mm-hmm.
But doing fix and flips, being a part of all those kind of transactions. Uh, Bill Bronchek is out of Denver. I love his classes. He's just straightforward. I go through his material probably once a year for all of it. I constantly educate just to make sure that I'm still like know what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I love being able to explain that to people. Real estate investment is probably has made the most millionaires of any other kind of investment in the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And being able to tell somebody, you're going to buy this house right now, but this house will also gain an equity. And whenever you want to move out to your next one, if you turn this one into a rental, this is how much monthly income you could probably bring
Mm-hmm.
to it. Uh, are you okay? Or we should buy in this neighborhood instead of this neighborhood because it has the potential of better growth. So that whenever you sell it, and see, this is another thing is every real estate purchase is an investment purchase,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't understand it. Because
Yeah.
you're going to use that first house to buy your second house, whether you fully sell it and buy your next one, or turn it into a rental and do it. But it's also the side of it that I also love is it just makes you think.
Yeah.
There's so many different options inside of investing. Um, just doing like numbers and being like, holy crap, this thing's going to have, a 10x cap rate, a 10 times cap rate, or, my return on investment on this over so many years is going to be, this amount of money. Like just being able to like sit down and like explain that to somebody, like
Mm-hmm.
be like, you might not like where you're at financially right now in your life, but if you do this and you continue to go down the lines and you do the right things and you stay on the plan,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that you'll be able to buy another one. I have a good friend of mine. Um, I helped him buy his home. Then we did a duplex. Then I helped his brother buy a duplex, and then I helped his father buy his son a house at college, which he rents out all the other rooms to as an investment to pay for all of that. And right now, I'm we've gone full circle. I'm back to my good friend who's looking to buy another fourplex.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, and little by little, he's completely freeing up his family's financials to be able to go ahead and live the life that he wants to live and give the life that he wants to give to everyone that he wants to give it to.
Yeah.
You know, um, on the investors, like investors are, eh, they're so easy too because it's either it works or it doesn't work. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's all about the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And people that really get that and being able to explain that to people, like the number one thing that goes wrong for investors or new investors. I'll say it that way. They walk into that space and they're like, I I'm going to do everything here like I'm going to live here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, no, you need to match the neighborhood. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to match the price point with as little money in, so you get the most money out. And that's what's so easy about investors is because it's not it's not an emotional tie to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's the best way for me to get in? What's the best way for me to get out to accomplish the goal that I want?
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a million different ways to do that. Uh, you always have an exit plan, but I mean, like you don't even have to buy it cash. I'm not saying you can do your wraps, you can do your subject twos, you can do um, um, your your burr methods. You know,
Mm-hmm.
your rehab. Well, I can't even say it now.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
Buy
buy
rehab
rehab, um,
or buy re.
refinance, and rent.
Yeah.
Sorry, there we
Yeah.
go. I had to think about it for a second. Um, sorry, Brandon. Um, um, no one else will know that reference probably, unless you're already an investor. Uh, but yeah, like you can do so many different things, and that's the fun thing about it is like every single transaction, every single investment has a million different outcomes,
Yeah.
and all how you get to do it. And even if you're investing, you're still helping somebody. You're still helping yourself. I mean, just like I said earlier, like the best way to do an investment is always make sure there's meat left on the bone.
Yeah.
So like you're not having to deal with a disgruntled client.
Yeah.
They know the situation they're in. Okay. And the only way that they leave angry is if you just take everything from them, because that's exactly what the bank was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. So there's types of people that I think that are out there right now that I think could really appreciate your knowledge and what you have. And one of those types of people are agents that are very upset right now with their brokerage.
mm,
Maybe they aren't following through with training, or maybe they're taking a chunk out of their commission,
a big one.
every time they close a house, So what would you say to those agents out there that are like frustrated right now?
Oh, I think the best thing, and I'm not going to say this right, uh, but I'm going to not quote, I'm going to paraphrase Gary Keller, okay, in the book Shift. In a shifting market, the first thing that you have to do is go and take a reconciliation of all of your budgets. And you need to make sure what you're paying for, you're getting things back out of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the exact quote, it's like a paragraph to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first thing Gary Keller says to do. So, right now, if you are in that position where you're frustrated, you need to go take an accounting.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go and you need to look at the things that you're paying into and actually see, am I getting as much as I can out of this? Or is what I'm putting into this actually benefiting me to the point where I'm willing to pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for every single agent, that's what it is. We always say this. Like I think Call It Close is the best brokerage for me. It might not be the best brokerage for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm not tricking myself here, thinking like it's a stop shop where all your dreams come true and everything like that. Because whenever you come down to it, you know, you got to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many why there's such a high failure rate into it is because it's not a 9 to 5 job.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't get a template to do it, and I don't care which brokerage you go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like Keller Williams, great brokerage, been here for forever. Thousands and thousands of agents all across the U.S. They always pride themselves on having the biggest teaching library of anyone out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tons of Keller Williams agents fail. That's just what it is.
Right.
So uh, back to I love my brokerage. It's perfect for me. It might not be perfect for you,
Mm-hmm.
but you should probably try it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like if your brokerage isn't perfect for you right now, you should probably look into it. You should probably
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and everyone has different or positions of life or
Yeah.
different, um, I can't even think of the word I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
Just
Perspective.
yeah,
Yeah.
or seasons is the word. You have different seasons of life.
Mm-hmm.
You might have been with a brokerage that, the mentorship was great. They did all the things that you were hoping they would did at the very beginning. But now, like, you've progressed to the point to where, you're teaching your mentors now.
You're outgrown it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really think that's what call it close is a specialty to. Like, I love talking to team leads. I love talking to like very high producing agents, all of those people that they're going to get it done no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They just need to figure out how they want to get it done. Um, like for our team leads, like, I don't care, make your own splits with your teammates or with your team members that are below you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, to the team members below you, make sure that when you join a team, that they're providing something for what they're
Mm-hmm.
taking out of you. But that's the exact same thing with your brokerage.
Right.
Like, it's always trying to figure out like where you're at and what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you're just working off of that. Uh, what I do love about for team leaders, you bring your team to us, and you create whatever split it is. I don't know any extremely high producing agent that started on a team that's like, oh, I'm going to stay here for my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're already doing 100 deals a year or, 30 deals a year or anything like that, most of those agents don't stick around on a team because uh, they're not, they're already producing.
Yeah.
They're looking for their next step because all they're looking at is their bottom line and like how much they're paying out for it, um, whether they're right or wrong. But if you have a team and you're at 100% brokerage and that also has a rev share, whenever that high producing agent one day says, I don't want to be a part of this team anymore, well, where are they going to go? If they leave, uh, then if they leave your team, they still get 100% if they stay inside a call it closed. If they stay inside a call it closed, then you still have your rev share.
Mm.
If you're vested in call it closed, if they leave and go to another, or well, no, that's a bad scenario. I'm about to say if you're vested in call it closed, um, everything that you've built inside of call it closed is deedable, okay, and continuous. So like if you vest out inside of call it close, which is a 2 year time period, and say I brought in 100 agents. Well, I don't like call it closed anymore, and I leave call it closed. Call it closed will still pay you everything you built inside of call it closed,
Mm.
as long as you have a realtor's license. Uh, so there's so many benefits, and that's one of the reasons that I have so much love and respect for our founders,
Mm-hmm.
Prilly and Chad Osborne. Um, because they really did start the whole thing. They own multiple Remax franchises. Aprilli's still a top producing agent in Naples, Florida. Um, sells millions and millions of dollars of real estate every single year. Um, but they built the entire brokerage because they wanted to serve people, and they followed through with it.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it in everything that they say, and all their decisions that they make for whatever it is, for the direction of the company, for all of that stuff, and they do a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and leadership, it always starts at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and because they serve everybody in CIC, everybody benefits from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's phenomenal.
The other I think type of person out there is just the people looking to buy a home or sell a home. How can they get in contact with you?
Ooh, that's really easy. I was about to say, you can give me a phone or call me right now, 719-244-6378. That's my personal cell phone. You can go to my website if you just want to search some properties. That's exploreCOSprings.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and any place that you really want to find me.
Mm-hmm.
You go to my Google profile. If it's out there, I'm on it. The only thing you'll never see me do is whatever the trending dance is on TikTok. All right, the Lord made me white, and it's through and through in my bones. You're not seeing me on a dance floor. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, I'll never be one of those realtors. It's like, but anyways, um, but yeah, you can find me anywhere. I'd love to just sit down. Even if you're not thinking about buying or selling right now, this entire business is about relationship
Mm-hmm.
and meeting people and getting a better understanding of it.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you want to schedule a time to talk, and we'll talk about all your hopes, your dreams, what you're trying to accomplish, when you're trying to accomplish it, and we'll just keep in contact
Dude.
and go from there and just constantly continue this relationship. And that's really I think that's like the number one thing for good realtors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They just have relationship with people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then because they have a great relationship with people, because they're already serving them, those people choose to use them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like it's with the statistic, the NAR statistic, um, most people work with the first realtor that they ever meet. Hopefully that's a good realtor,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Uh, that's why I bring that up because I think you should meet me first. Okay. I was like, and let's go have it. I was outside. I always used to tell people I was like, my day usually starts at a coffee shop and ends at a brewery. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want a coffee, a lunch, or a beer, give me a call and we'll talk about all your real estate needs.
Dude, that's awesome. David, thank you so much for coming on, dude. It's been awesome. Yeah, if you guys need somebody to help you transact your property, or if you've got a question just about real estate and real estate investing, this dude is a wealth of knowledge. So we will catch you in the next one, and thank you again, David.
Yeah, brother. Love you.